Okay.
So let me share. Yeah. No. You kids, please, downstairs, please. Go and play on your Masama, take your phone and go and play downstairs. When mommy finish the live, I will come in a minute. Where's your phone? Ishmael, look for Masama phone and give it to her, please. Please. What do you mean no, please? I'm begging you. Okay. This kids. I bet every time you see kids acting up, you're like, thank God I didn't have one yet.
I think everybody is blessed with.
But to be honest, I am actually surprised that you haven't had one yet, you know?
I am surprised too. I've had a couple of close encounters.
Yeah.
I at the time when I had those close encounters, I wasn't ready. I
Okay.
would think I would have been a mother. Yeah,
Oh,
I think I would be ready.
yeah.
And definitely not. Oh wait, let me come over this. Last time.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. You done well. You done well all these years. But you need to hurry. But you need to hurry up and at least have one before you're 35. Come on, babe. Because you don't want to be old lady and having kids.
I don't, but then I don't want to be. I want to be mentally mature enough to do it because I was messed up by people
Oh
that
yeah,
weren't ready to have children. So I
children. Yeah,
another child.
yeah, I understand that. So,
So yeah.
Masama, darling, please go downstairs. No, you can't play here. Mommy's doing the show. You can't play here, darling. Okay? No, Isaac, they're not coming upstairs. I'm doing the show. Oh my God. I'm telling them to come down, go downstairs. He's telling them to come upstairs.
Oh wait, am I sending the stream what is it?
Steam,
Yeah,
yeah?
link? Is that what I'm sending? My
No,
God.
no, 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 no. I've already shared the SteamYard link on the group chat, our group chat.
Right.
So right now I'm on Facebook just sharing the page. The live.
I'm doing it wrong. Okay, all right.
No, because if you share the link, somebody else random can join our
Shit.
so you need to remove the link, yeah?
All right, let me.
Someone random can just join the link here.
Right. Is that a good thing? All right.
Ishmael and Masama, I'm begging you to go downstairs, please. Okay? No. Isaac, 1 minute, Shannon.
Yeah. No worries.
Mariam still not here yet?
No, I'm not seeing her yet. Not seeing her. All right.
Jamal, how are you, Jamal?
Oh, he said hi. Hi, Jomo.
Sorry, people, for making you guys wait. You know, to share this platform is another work.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. I'm sharing it on WhatsApp.
Sorry, people, and I can't even play music to entertain you guys because Facebook have started this nonsense. If you play music, they'll block your video
Yeah.
because of copyright. So I can't even entertain you guys with music.
Yeah. That's
Okay, Shannon, I'll do the rest in a minute. Let's just start the show, okay? Okay, I've muted you because like last time the noise will come from the background. So when you're ready to talk, I'm gonna open your line and then I'm gonna mute myself. That's how we're gonna do it, if that's okay. 1 minute. 1 minute, Shannon. Yeah?
Are you still hearing any noise?
Yeah. I don't know why. So I have to literally we both can't talk, we both can't have our mic on at the same time. It start, misbehaving. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. No matter what part of the world you're at, that's my special greeting to you all. My name is Hajo Kone, and I'm based in London, United Kingdom, and the show is called Red Flag Show. And today I have my co-host, Shannon. She's going to introduce herself, where she's based, before we start the show. Shannon, can you please introduce yourself to the world?
All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Shannon Vivek, and I'm located in Trinidad and Tobago, the island of Trinidad. But it's a twin island state, Trinidad and Tobago. But I'm on the island of Trinidad. All right, and that's in the West Indies, the Caribbean. So I understand that my accent is very thick. So if you need me to repeat something slower, because we talk fast. If you want me to repeat something slower, just ask. I will not be offended. Trust me. All right. So stay tuned, and you're in for a really, really exciting show today. Very interesting topic that we all should pay attention to. All right. So I'll pass it back on to Haja, and yeah, enjoy.
Um, Today our topic is going to be. Wait, let me double check because I already forgot. What because it's something to do with. 1 minute. Oh, you can't call me now when I'm on Facebook, please, people. Okay, our topic for today. Mariam wrote it down. Where did she write it down? The biggest reason why some of us, marriage didn't work. You know. Oh God. Yeah. So the biggest reason why some of us marriage didn't work. So marry, yes, Shannon, but I'll give that topic to you. I'll make you start. what is the biggest reason why some marriages, you think some marriage didn't work? Wait, 1 minute. Let me unmute you. 1 minute.
All right. So there are a bunch of reasons, and in doing research on it, we found 10 main reasons why marriages don't work. And I would say, me personally, even though I have not been married, I've been in long-term relationships with, which is, yeah, it's not marriage, but it's dedication and commitment too. But I would say the reason, listening to friends and listening to people who are in marriages or who have been in marriages, I would say that the biggest reason is that they weren't ready for marriage. Like a lot of people, we grew up, especially women, we grew up with being taught that we have to be married by a certain time. We have to be married. We should be married by 25. Really, really, that's the age that the cutoff time. Should be married, have a couple children, living in a decent house. We those were supposed to be our life goals as women. And not enough emphasis was put on one, building you as a person, because you can't find a suitable partner if you yourself are not suitable. Like we always go into things wanting the other person to be this. We have a whole long checklist of all the things that they should be. He should be tall and handsome. He should have how much ever money in his bank account. He should be able to buy me this. He should be able to provide for my children. He should be able to provide for me, provide me with a house that I could make a home. But then what are you bringing to the table? And hence the reason why I said we aren't, the reason I would say that, based on what I hear people talking about, the reason why marriages, one of the reasons why marriages fail is because we are not ready for marriage. A lot of us think that marriage is like running a race, and marriage is the finish line, and when you reach that finish line, you win some miraculous prize, which is it just that is not the case. You now starting on your lifelong journey with a person, and if you and that person are not in sync, if you yourself not in sync, because that's what people get tired of. They go into marriage thinking that the other person will complete them, because we hear all these bullshit songs growing up, all of these R&B love songs and all that. Look at where you're talking about, where they're talking about finding their other half. You're not supposed to have an other half. You're supposed to be whole and complete in yourself and find somebody that complements you. I heard Will Smith and Jada talk about that, because they've been married for 20 something years, and they were saying that, Will Smith was saying, it is not my job to make her happy. And it sounds kind of effed up for a husband to say that about his wife or to his wife. He said, it's not my job to make her happy. It is her job or our job to make ourselves happy and then come together and be a unit. So we get it. We really do get it wrong. We think that, okay, he is going to make me happy. She is going to make me happy, and that, I believe, is the main reason for marriage is not working. Because when you go into this realizing that the person that you're marrying, because we all walk in, like I keep saying, we all walk in this earth, we all grow and we all learning together, we all learning and growing together. So why is it, I think it's really unfair to expect you yourself not healed, you're not healed from your traumas, you're not healed from your pains, you're not healed from all of your past shit, but you expect the person that you're marrying to be healed and ready to commit and ready to be your fortress, to be that person for you. And that's ridiculous, and it's ridiculous to expect that from somebody when you cannot be that for somebody else. So as Will Smith and Jada say, heal yourself, make yourself happy, and then you come together with somebody to be happy and healed and right together. not expect, all right, you broken and the other person will heal you. The other person will make you happy. The other person will make your life worth living. That is not how it works. So that is the main reason I would say from what I hear people talking about. That is the reason I would say that marriages don't work. I would say that. And after I will we probably just talk about in research and this topic. There are other reasons, of course, but we will get to that in a bit. I'll pass it back on to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shannon, for that. You know, you are absolutely right. We live in a world now where there's pressures on us, right? It can be even sometimes it's different pressure, right? Like when you're not married, it's oh my god, you're getting older. Why don't you get married? Then, for example, when you do get married and you don't have kids, oh my god, you've been in your marriage for two. Oh my god, 1 minute. My kids have started again. Yeah, and then when you do get married, it's like another pressure. Oh, when are you gonna have a child? And then when you don't have a child, like when you don't have a child, that pressure comes when you're gonna have a child. And when you're old, you know, they will say, oh my god, you know, it's always different thing. Yeah. No, no, woman, I can't hear you. What did you say?
I said it's always something. They're
Yeah.
always setting your trying to make your life for you. You could decide whatever the hell you want to do. It's not
It's
really.
exactly. So they try to make it look like as if there's a time limit on something, like you have to get married at this time, you have to be engaged at this time, you know, you have to go finish your education at this time. Do you get what I mean? We always put a time limit on stuff, and really and truly, there's no time limit. When you're ready, you feel like you're ready, you're supposed to do it. Don't just do something because you feel like you're pressured to do it, you know? 1 minute, Shannon. 1 minute, Shannon. My kids, oh my God. Okay. Somebody, John, I've wrote here. Malcolm, I've wrote here. Women have it hard, but you don't have it. You don't have to fall into man-made society. Society. What? So society standard. Yeah, society standard, which is absolutely right because we've been. No, no. The problem is in life like God didn't create us and put time limit into anything. Do you get what I mean? It's us human being have literally put time limit in every single thing. You go to school. If you don't go to school, when are you gonna go to school? You go to school when you're gonna graduate. You graduate when you're gonna get a job. You get a job when you're gonna get married. You get married when you're gonna have kids. The government is one thing after another to the point where we put so much pressure on ourselves, try to fulfill all these things, yeah, because society have made us feel like if we don't do it, we're far behind in life. We got to do it. Yeah. This is why so many people is feeling into the trap. Some people get married to the wrong people, not because they wanted to generally get married. It's because the peer pressure, the friends are married, or the families behind them telling them you have reached certain age limit, you need to go and get married. Do you get what I mean? So they go and get married. This could be the reason. There could be another reason again. Like sometimes we're lonely. Some people are lonely. They don't want to be alone. You know, they feel like by being with somebody, they're gonna get the happiness, which they forget. Happiness, somebody ain't gonna come and give you happiness. Happiness is within. If you're not happy within yourself, nobody can bring you the happiness. Hello, Sister Mariam. No one can bring you that happiness. You need to be generally happy with yourself. You know, you need to love yourself before anybody can love you, before anybody can give you that happiness. And we'll forget that. We simply always think we need to be in a relationship to get that happiness from somebody else. Exactly. That's another thing. And another thing that what relationship don't work these days, we have females. We our own downfall. A female will see a man, not a man is literally happy, literally married, yeah, and they'll still go there. They will still go there to go and mess it up. They don't care if the man is married. All they care about is their own selfish need. They want that man. You know, they don't care if that man been with his wife for how many good years or whatever. They will go there and they will go and get what they need to get out of it. You know what I mean? So sometimes us female, we're our own problem. It's us female that is breaking other people's marriages. And that's the fact that we need to talk about. We can't sit here and deny that. Because sometimes some people is happily married and it will take another female because she doesn't have no man and she want that man and she's not looking at the bigger picture to be like, okay, that man is married, that man got kids, all she's looking at, I want him, she will go there. As if it means that she's going to break that marriage, she will do it. Do you know what I mean? And then, brother Sekou, I've wrote here, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Is it absolutely right, brother Sekou? Absolutely right. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of my the show when I started talking. We need to learn to love ourselves because the mistake we're doing, yeah, is thinking we need to have somebody in our life, yeah, to justify love for us. You know, and what we're forgetting, if you don't love yourself, if you don't accept yourself, no matter whatever relationship you're in, you're not gonna get what you're looking for. Do you get me? Because you're in denial. You're in denial of yourself. And how do you expect somebody to bring you happiness when you're not happy within yourself? You see? And this is the mistake we do a lot of time. And also, again, the reason why some marriages break is because people get in the wrong reason. People get in, they want the wrong reason. Like, for example, they get in for like the interest. Once they already had that interest, once they get that interest, they're ready to go. Because they didn't came in for love. They came in for their own interest. So there's so many different ways why marriages break. Do you get me? Then there's finance as well. We have finance as well. Like there's some people, for example, yeah, like some partners, they might be working and that, they might be sharing joint account, you know? One partner might be spending more of the money and the other partner don't like it. You know what I mean? So that could be why marriages are not working out, the finance side of it, why marriage, or one couple is not working that much, so it's dependent on the other one, so there's more strain on the other one. Do you get me? Because she have to pick up with the bills, she have to pick up with like the rent money, the food money. She has to put on more of that than the other partner. So that it could be so many reasons why marriages don't work. You know, there's a different broad line of it. So, but for now, that's what I would say, because since Sister Mariam is here and it was her topic for the week. So Sister Mariam, you're here. Can you please let us know why, in your view, you think that marriages don't work these days?
Okay, hello everyone. For me, the first one I'm going to list is lack of premarital.
No, before you start, you have to introduce yourself, Sister Mariam, who you are, where you based.
Hello everyone, I'm Sister Mariam. I'm from United Kingdom, and hope you keep watching and liking and sharing our video. Thank you. Okay, as my colleague said, the topic was for me. I really talk about the topic because I thought that we needed to talk about this. Okay, for me, the first one is the lack of premarital and counseling. Okay, because that's what I see, that's where problems start. Because before you get married to someone, you guys have to sit down and know what you want in the marriage. What is marriage? What's the definition of marriage? What is marriage for this person? What's the value in marriage for this person that you are getting married to? You know, so you people need to go for counseling. The lack of counseling also, I think, is one of the main reasons that marriage don't work. Because if you just you meet someone like 6 months and next thing you getting married, no counseling, nobody is talking to you people. You know, you don't even know what is in, what is good. Because marriage is not all about love. Love is not just enough for marriage. You need a lot of things. You need sacrifice. Marriage comes with a lot of boundary. It will be on your shoulder. You have to be able to carry it. It's not just love, because when that love go out, it's gone. It's not even about money. Money is not also sufficient for marriage. Believe me, when the money is gone, You're gonna leave everything. You're gonna start from all over, because the men are, they have some rich women that are millionaires that are married, they have their wife, but they are not satisfied. You know why? Because they just get gifts. Every time the man cheats on them, they give them gifts. So tell me how that marriage is gonna last. No way. So, and the next one is the couple starts, the same thing, it goes with this, the same two stuff that I pointed before about money and love. Couples stop loving each other. You know, it all starts from there, because when you people don't have counseling, number one, when there's nobody to counseling from the initial stage, and you just get married for wrong purpose, you know, like for example, you get married because of money, or because he's handsome, or because you love him. Right away, the marriage, between the line of the marriage, between even 6 or 3 months, give yourself 6 or 3 months, that love is going to go down, because you know what, that man will start wearing boxers in the house. The lady will start tying lapa and leaving her hair, taking out her weave. You're going to see her real hair. You're going to see her real face without makeup. That how the love will start dying, and maybe she will leave some dirty clothes somewhere. She will use it. I've watched some movies where you see marriage break down because maybe the woman went in the bathroom and she couldn't flush the toilet. You know, they start having couples start having problems, like, you know, all of this. That's why we need counseling before we get into marriage. Supposed to be bad, as my colleague was saying before I came, money, managing money. You guys have to have an account. For me, I believe in that. Saying, you know, before you get married, that's why I say counseling is good. Have an account where you have to pay the bills, who is going to pay this, and who. It's not about being in the Westerner, because somebody will say, oh, during our parent time. That is the problem we have. You know why? Because the examples, we have different reasons. How can you take marriage from 19 and 70 to the marriage of today? You can never compare those two marriages. It doesn't even work. So those are the wrong reason. We are getting married for very wrong reason. That's why it doesn't work. Because if you guys don't go to counseling, money is not involved. How are you going to take care of the child? Who is going to pick up the children? How many children do you guys want to have? Where do you want to live? How many holiday homes do you want to buy? All of that. You have to do that before you even start thinking about getting married. So the counseling for me is just the main part of everything. Because with the counseling, without counseling, lack of love start coming out. They supposed start spending, because you don't even know if your wife like. Because some women love, when they are stressed, they love to go for shopping. For me, I'm one of the women, I will tell you, I don't like going for shopping. When I go for shopping, I have a serious headache. When I pick one stuff, I'm tired. Some women like mismanaging money. Some men also love mismanaging money. So if you don't have a premarital counseling, the marriage is going to go down the borderline. Why? Because you don't even know the person you got married to. The lack of infection, all of that is because you don't even know the person you married. So you just go, oh, I love him. Oh, he is rich. And that is it. How is he at home? How does he behave when he's sad? Maybe he go to work and he have a contract and the contract doesn't go on well. How does he behave when he's angry? You don't even know the kind of person you're dealing with when he's angry. You only know when he's happy, but you don't know when sadness, when the contract, when he doesn't get the contract, where the wife, maybe she's a lawyer and she lose the case, how she will react when she lose the case, or maybe she's a nurse or a doctor. If a patient happy to die, how she's going to behave, you know. All of that is what you're supposed to know. The abuse will start, addiction. You don't even know whether the person is an abuser, whether they are taking drugs. Maybe it can be drugs where they are addicted to something, addicted to watching movies, addicted to shopping. You don't know none of that. So out of the lack of the counseling will bring down the marriage so down. And the last one, you don't even know if this man is a cheating person, you know, because some people naturally, they just love cheating. It's just part of them. They just love cheating. But without going for counseling, how will you know this partner of yours is cheating? Is somebody that loves cheating, that is addicted to it? All of these things you can talk about before marriage. You guys to come to one understanding. You will know, okay, I have this man, he's a cheater. I have my wife, she's a cheater. Okay, let me see how we can deal with it. You know, you have like 6 weeks of counseling before the marriage, 3 weeks or whatever. But the lack of counseling is the reason why today our days marriage is going so low, because we don't know each other. Everybody getting relationship for different marriage for different reasons. As I said, money, people get in it for love, and all those things are not enough. Or people can even, how can you compare your mother marriage with your own marriage? Your mother is going to advise you, yes, but you need a good counselor of today. somebody of our days that will tell you, okay, this is what is going on. We need to talk about this because now marriage, yesterday marriage and today's marriage is not the same. Our mother's marriage work out, our parent marriage work out because they use different form, Our parent there, for example, I'm a Muslim. Our parent there, maybe our fathers have two. They have maids, two, three maids. They were very good. But for us now, as soon as we hear that our husband is getting married to a different wife, jealousy start coming in. We don't want to accept it because he never even tell us from the beginning that he was going to bring another woman in. So because of that, the lack of counseling for me is just the main reason to this day that our relationship, marriage, is just going down the road. And it's so hard that and so frustrating that it's nothing nobody can do. You don't know the person that you marry. You don't even know the person that you even go into marriage with. So lack of counseling for me is just the main one, because from there I have all of this come under a all of what I just described: the money, the character, the lack of love, the whether the man is abusive, man, you don't even know the women can be abusive. For the other, I think the last program my colleagues talk about men also suffer. Yes, that's it. Men can also be the one that be abusing. They have women that can abuse men. They don't fight. They like to fight. Some women, like I think Haja did mention that some women, if you don't beat them, they feel like you don't love them. The last, if I'm not making mistake. So you see, how do you want that marriage to stay long if you have that woman with that character? You don't know the kind of character she have. So you see, all of this, for me, the main root is the lack of counseling in marriage. So I'm gonna leave the topic with my colleague to take over. We'll still continue though.
Thank you, Sister Mariam. Let me just read this, then I'll pass it on to Shannon. Eon said, marriage is started with love, but it maintained by duty, responsibility, character, and effort, which is true. Shannon, can you please, add on to what Sister Mariam just said, please, darling?
Earlier, and hi on. Mariama, what Maria said is so true. The main thing I would say is lack of counseling. And that's the be all and end all of everything. Like if you get that right, if you don't just jump into this thing hoping that it will work out and thinking that love will sustain you through everything, then if you don't do that, then you're destined to fail. Because a lot of marriages or married couples don't take the time to organize what they want. Okay, like Mariam said, how much children do you want? Children shouldn't be the amount of children you have shouldn't just be a hope for the best. I hope if you get a child, yay or whatever. You have to be able to afford to see about them children because children don't. They're expensive. They're expensive little creatures. So not being able to afford those children can lead to a host of issues between you and your partner, husband and wife. So by sitting down and decided, well, okay, we want 4 children, we want 3 children, we want how much of a children? You could even want 20 children if you could afford it. Have that discussion. Have the discussion in the case of polygamous relationship where the man is allowed to have several wives. An issue and a contentious issue for women, because I know for myself being in love with somebody and all that and having see that person be in love with someone else, I know I will get jealous and that's issues. And so you need to talk about that, even if you understand that this is the situation, that your husband is already of a particular faith that allows for polygamy. It is still something that's going to affect you. If unless you don't love your husband, seeing your husband be in love with another woman would, unless you're a robot, would make you feel a kind of way. And I know for a fact that people who are in polygamous relationship, whether it is through religion or whatever, and they know that it is already a thing that the husband is going to acquire other wives or whatever, they still feel a certain way because you're human. We have emotions. You're still going to feel especially if you're the first wife or whatever. You're going to feel a type of way. You may not be vengeful and all that, but you would feel a little sense of insecurity and stuff. So these conversations, which would happen in counseling, premarital counseling, is something that you need to do and that need to have, and your partner needs to be the kind of partner that doesn't have this what I say goes. If I say jump, we jump. You just ask how high. In fact, even ask how high, I will tell you how high. Once your partner is not like that, there is a greater chance for longevity in your marriage. He or she, because I there are some bossy ass women out here. So I can't even just say he. There are some bossy women. I believe traditional. I believe there are rules that everybody should play, and it should be understood. If I'm not saying that a man has to be the provider or a woman has to be the homemaker, but again, counseling will decide all of that. You all will understand what all they coming here to do. All they not just coming here to say, "Oh baby, I love you," and give kisses. That shit just get old fast. So you need to you need to come with a plan, and that plan is decided upon in counseling. So I would say talk, talk. We don't, because a lot of people go. We again as women, we are raised with preconceived notions of what marriage and what love is. We think that if you don't have that bubbly feeling and stuff in your heart and all of that, then you're not in love. But that feeling goes away. It goes away as everything does. Nothing in life is permanent. Everything is temporary. So those things go away. And it doesn't mean that when it goes away you must divorce, which is what a lot of people do. Like when the stars in your eyes and that feeling goes away, that obsession, I would call it that obsession. When that obsessive feeling goes away, a lot of people think that they're out of love with the person and they need to divorce. But that's not the case. Just ag- it depends on the person that you're with too. But you have to be able to work through things. You have to be able to. Children get fed up with toys and throw them away. That's what children do. Big people get fed up with stuff and talk out their feelings. Sit down and assess, but why this? Where went wrong? Children don't have the ability to do that. But we as big people, we could sit down and say, well, yeah, I do shit. Or talk to your husband or your wife and tell them, I don't like how you do that. I don't like how you made me feel. You're watching. There are a lot of men and women that are very disrespectful. I think that as soon as you start to disrespect your partner, you're in for problems too. Because yes, there are billions of women in the world, there are billions of men in the world. And of course you're gonna find other people attractive. That's human nature. But it's a problem if you're all walking on the road together. I've actually had this happen to me. I've actually had this happen to me. I talking to my then boyfriend and a girl on the other side of the road, walking down the road, and he stopped talking to me. This is how he stopped talking to me and running to go and talk to the girl. Literally, I swear to God, he is running alongside the woman to talk to her. And then he come after because she didn't take him on, which was very embarrassing. She didn't take him on. He comes back and he's talking to me like nothing happened. And I'm like, dude, what the F just happened? And he said, no, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't. Why are you so insecure? And this is where playing with your mind comes in. He tried to make me think that I was seeing things. Um, he's like, what? I didn't do nothing. That was all in your head. You just think you saw me running behind a girl to talk to her. Oh, she's crazy. So yes, talking. Thank God we didn't get married because that would have been a lifetime of hell for me. So having those conversations from the get go and seeing those red flags. This show is called the Red Flag Show. Spotting those red flags and having, if you choose to go ahead with the relationship, spotting the red flags, talking about the red flags that you're seeing, and then if you choose to move forward, go forward from there. But don't ignore it, which is what a lot of us do. We ignore red flags. case in point, the same thing with the guy that I, my ex. A lot of women would have been like, oh, yeah, I'm just happy to be with a man. No, get rid of that ass. Get rid of him. Don't tolerate stuff that you're not comfortable with. If he or she is making you feel like less than, run. Because a ring isn't going to transform him into a super husband, which is what a lot of us think. We think that, okay, when we married, it will get better. No, 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 my dear. When you get married, you're going to see the worst of that person. That person is only going to get much, much worse. So marriage does not provide for a brand new person with brand new values. If he was beating you before you get married, trust me, he's going to continue. If he was watching other women and lusting after women before you were married, he's going to do worse when you get married. Now he's going to think that, all right, I have her or I have him, as women think. I have him, so yeah, he's saying he ain't going nowhere. But divorces are, I mean, it's expensive, but it's not that hard to get now. Back in the day, it was hard. So don't think that you have anybody. Everybody is disposable. So don't ever think that you don't get complacent and think that that is it. Be in it for the long run. Get your counseling, like Mariama said. Get your counseling. That is the main thing. Have those discussions. Don't go into it with childlike hope. Don't do that. Yeah, sorry. All right. I'll pass it back on to Maya. To Haja. I keep calling you my
No, you can call me Boyf. It's Boyf anyway. Thank you, Shannon. Basically, before I start, let me read what Ian said. Ian said, love within a marriage is also maintained by good communication, consideration, and intelligent effort. Yeah, intelligent effort. Yeah. Basically, Ian, you're absolutely right. Any relationship or marriage where it lack communication, forget it. It's not gonna work. I don't care how long you guys try to make it work, it's not gonna work. And the problem with communication, what I've realized, some people say communication is good, but when you have a partner who doesn't really communicate, because some people don't communicate, because if you bring the topic of your feeling, they're ready to switch her up real quick. They're ready to, to start having an all new conversation. Because they know once you start, you're going to obviously say everything where they're wrong. Do you know what I mean? Everything that you're not happy with, you're going to start stating them one by one. And some people don't want to hear it. This is the problem. And this is why the confusion come into it. This is why it get complicated. This is why sometimes the relationship problem never get resolved. Like for example, if you and your man had an argument, let's just say he was cheating, you had an argument. If he was a real man who doesn't mind confrontation, who doesn't mind communicating, he will communicate with you, okay, babe, this is why I cheat, this is the reason why I cheat, and then maybe you guys can resolve that issue. Some men don't even want to talk about it. They will change, they'll do 360-degree flip. Yeah, and flip onto something else. So you guys can have a loop of argument. You can fight it out. And then once you have an argument, fight it out, like it will be a thing where it will be a topic that never got discussed. Then they'll do something else. Then you'll be like, okay, you see, you just did something now. The other time you cheated on me. Then when you bring that topic again, they'll say, you always bring an old topic up. The reason why people are bringing old topic up, because the other topic that was there in the first place never ever got resolved, because the other person wasn't comfortable enough to communicate. And this is the problem. Once that communication is not there, its relationship is gone. And once the loyalty and the respect is not there, that relationship ain't gonna work. Because at the end of the day, if a relationship or marriage needs 3 ingredients, for me anyway, I don't know about everybody else. The 3 ingredients for me is communication, respect, and trust. Okay? If any of those 3 are not working, it ain't gonna work. Or even if any one of those 3 is not there, it ain't gonna work. Because we need to be able to have a communication. Why? If something pop up, And we need to have that conversation. We need to sit down like an adult and have that conversation. And if we don't have a proper conversation with that situation is never going to get solved. You know? And if I don't trust you and I'm always going to be paranoid, whatever you do, I'm paranoid, it ain't going to work. Because no matter how much you tell me the truth, and you told me 100 lies before and you told me one truth, I'll always think that you lie. Because if you told me 100 lies before, what make you think you're telling me the truth right now? Do you know what I mean? And respect. When the respect ain't there, that's when I pack my bag and I'm gone. That's me. I don't care how long we've been married for. I don't care how long we've been dating. That one important thing where the respect, where I feel like you don't respect me, I am packing my bag and I am gone. I move on. Because at the end of the day, respect is very important. Because it's a two-way street. If I respect you and I'm telling you something that I am not comfortable with and I'm making it clear to you I am not comfortable with, I expect you to resolve that situation. Do you know what I mean? You can't be telling me that you ain't comfortable with something and I'm doing exactly what you're saying. Then when I'm now telling you I'm not comfortable with something, and because you are the man and you want to feel like the man and you feel like you do whatever you want to do, I'm removing myself in that situation. Because the point of getting married is partnership. If you're not ready for partnership, you don't get married. Simple as that. Because it's partnership. Because there's certain things that are going to happen, you're not going to like it. Your partner, for example, now, yeah, if your partner don't want you to wear fake hair, and you love fake hair, because of the love, you're gonna stop wearing the fake hair to please your partner. Or if you somebody that use the cream to make yourself fairer, and your partner says, okay, I don't like that, and you stop that. What if you say to your partner, okay, I don't want you to communicate with that girl, and it's continued to do it, you got the right to be like, forget it. Because I can't be changing myself for you, and I'm asking you to do one thing for me, and you don't want to do it, then why marry me? Then don't get married then. Because the point of getting married is about compromise. We have to compromise with each other. Certain situation I ain't gonna like, and you like it. If you tell me you don't like it, I will have to stop it. And it's the vice versa. Certain situation I am not gonna like. And if I'm telling you as a wife, I am uncomfortable with that, yeah, and you claim to love me, and you claim to say I'm your wife, and it's partnership, and you don't want to listen to me, hell no, I'm out of that marriage. Because marriage is about compromise. If I don't see that anymore, you walk. I'm sorry, that's me. You know what I mean? Because we're too grown to be telling people how we're supposed to be treated. We're too grown for that. You know what I mean? It's common sense supposed to tell you that. Common sense supposed to tell you, I took a vow to love this person till, like they said, till death do us apart. I took a vow on the eyes of God to say, I want to marry this person. So why, if the person is telling you, I am uncomfortable, the person is making it clear, I am uncomfortable with certain situation, and you don't want to correct that situation, boy, then don't be married then. Because if you're single, you won't have nobody telling you what to do. So why get married if you don't want to, if you want to be a single, you might as well just get single. Be single, because if you're single, you can date Tom, Dick, and Harry. Nobody will come and complain to you and say, why are you dating Tom, Dick, and Harry? Nobody's going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Don't get mad, because I feel like the nowadays generation, we're wasting each other time. Like, we act like we want certain thing, and then when we do have it, we then go somewhere else, and then the other person is just there. Like, you're just there like a yo-yo, bro. You don't know if you're going, you coming, you don't even know if you're in a relationship, or you're not. You don't even know you're in an old mess. That's the generation we're in. The generation we're in now, nobody care about anymore about good heart, people that got good heart. Now everybody interest everywhere. Interest is everywhere. So this is why we're suffering a lot in this generation that we're in now. Like, back in the days, two people who didn't know each other, like your parent raised you different, his parents raised them different. You come together as a team, and you know that, okay, we wasn't raised the same way, but back in the days, they believe it. If it's not working, we try to make it work. Like, for example, if your clothes rip, instead of putting that clothes in a bin, you sew it. That's how they treat a marriage, yeah? A marriage is not going to be perfect, but you try to make it work. But the generation we're in now, nobody have the patience for that. Nobody have time for that. Nobody want to even communicate. Nobody have respect for each other, and nobody have trust for each other. So them free ingredient, it ain't gonna work. I don't care how much we try to force it, it's not gonna work. Because that is the three ingredients that make marriage work. Do you get me? Anyways, before I continue, somebody have written here, Ian again. Ian said, great point, Shannon. Leadership is the best done from in front, not by simple telling people what to do. The best leader understand that they in fact serve those that they lead. The priority is meeting the need of people with them, which is true, you know, which is true. And there's somebody else right here. I agree with at the point marriage is compromise. Yeah, marriage is submission to your partner and relationship by both members. Just because you are the man in the relationship, it didn't mean that you get to ignore the basic of communication and interaction with your partner. Exactly. Kimmy, thank you so much. This is what most people are facing, right? You have a partner that think that like he doesn't even consider your feeling. We have partners that they don't even consider the other partner feeling. Like you could be screaming at them and say, I'm uncomfortable. You could be crying that I'm uncomfortable. I am not happy. Your tears, your word don't mean nothing to them. They will still do what they want to do. And that's not marriage. That is not married. Then why get married? Because if that's how you feel, it's better you be single, because once you're single and you're doing all of that, no one will complain to you why you didn't do this or you didn't do that. You're single, you can live your best life. But I thought getting married is partnership. That's the point that I understand. Or am I wrong somewhere? Do you get me? Somebody just wrote something again. 1 minute. No, that one was already read. Yeah. And then discuss how are you doing today? I'm good, discuss. You know, so that's the thing what people don't realize. So marriage, to be honest, we're in an era now, to be honest, nobody value marriage anymore. Like Sister Mariam was saying earlier when she started talking that marriage, we need counseling. Okay, before the counseling even get there, before we even go to counseling, we need to start at home with ourselves. First, we need to be able to communicate, because two people who cannot communicate at home, no matter whatever counseling they go to, they will never be able to communicate, because you're telling your side of the story to the counselor is going to be judging both of you to by your story, what you both have said. Do you get me? If you both cannot come on a common ground to understand each other, to admit where you both went wrong, the therapy is waste of time. Because the point of therapy is exactly what you refuse to do at home. That's what you're going to go and do at therapies. Because you need to be able to open your mouth and communicate with the therapist person. To be like, okay, this is what my wife is doing, or this is what my husband is doing that I don't like, and this is how it's making me feel. If you cannot say that to your partner at home, how it's making you feel, you both can't communicate with each other about your feeling, what makes you think a therapist is going to help you? Therapy ain't going to help you, because you can't even come with common ground at home. Do you get me? And this is what we're facing in the society. You know, we're facing that in the society, and it's a shame. It's a shame that our generation have come into this. And Kemi have wrote, I always believe that people should learn to be comfortable with self first. Thank you so much, because getting into a commitment requires yourself to expand energy, not just for. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kemi. And then Discuss said, how are you doing, my sister? I hope everything is good. Please don't be angry. I'm not angry. I'm just talking. And then he goes, how's my summer? My summer is doing great. And then Kemi put here, people need to learn to be comfortable with self first. The main issue with a lot of young people getting married is we feel we need to be comfortable. Amen. Amen, Kemi. Amen to that. Yeah. And that's the issue. That's the issue now. So in life, we need to learn to have self-love. We need to love ourselves. No one need to define love for us. We need to love ourselves. We need to accept ourselves. So when we get married, we can bring that into our marriage, you know? And we need to realize that Don't get married because your friends are getting married or you feel like time bomb is ticking. There's no time bomb in marriages, you know, when you feel comfortable, because the world we live in, there's so much pressure. Like I was saying in the beginning of my talk, when you're not going to school, people be saying, how come you're not going to school? You go to school to get education, why you not graduated? You go and get graduated, why you don't have a job? You go and get a job, why you not married? You go and get married, how come you haven't had kids yet? You have kids, why you haven't bought your home yet? You know, it's like, it's never ending. Like, to not allow anybody to put pressure on you to act like as if there's a time limit. There's no time limit. When you're comfortable enough to get married, you get married. When you feel like you've grown enough to get married, you get married. Because there's so many of us are married, we weren't ready for it. We weren't ready for it. We just went into it and we weren't grown. We weren't ready for it. We wasn't ready for the commitment. We wasn't ready for the bullshit. Mind my word, but I was a bullshit. We wasn't ready for it. You know, some people just get married for the name that I'm married. Just for the name. Just for the name to be there that I am married. Some people get married because of that. You know? So, like, the world we live in is very, like, you know, is, but me and my, Morris, please, we're doing show here. You're talking about myself. so do you get what I mean? Like, some people get married because of the name. Some men get married, they weren't ready to get married. Some men are married and they haven't even finished with the old situationship. You know, some of them go whole side chick or even female. Some of them go all side man on one side, the man go all side chick on the other side, and they're married to you and it becomes complicated. They still love the side chick. They're in a relationship with you. They want by force, by fire for you to accept it. They're going out with another woman. They're entertaining other women in the inbox. All those things, like this generation now is just mess up generation. That's how with me, I'd rather be single than to be in the wrong mess. I won't do it for anybody. I don't want to be in the wrong mess, you know? Because for me, I prefer love than anything. If I love somebody, I want you to love me back. I don't want you to force your love. I don't want you to, you know, if I feel like the situation ain't working, I'm sorry, I am removing myself nicely out of the situation. Finish. I don't have time. I'm too grown for that. I'm too grown to be wasting time. If you don't want me, a next person there will happily want me. Simple as that. I'm too grown for that. And then we have children to raise, you know. We have children to raise, not for the children to be confused, to be in an old loop of mess that we are in. And we're forgetting when you've got children and they're seeing that broken home, broken family, broken parents, parents are always arguing, parents are always fighting. It's not good for the children. It's not good for the children. So we should do ourselves a favor. When we think it's not working out, don't force the situation. Yeah, you can kindly remove yourself. It doesn't mean you need to be bitter about it. You can still work co-parents, like we spoke about that on our other platform, with not the same platform, but our other show. You can still co-parents, you know. That does not mean you need to be together to co-parent. If you don't work, you don't work, you know. But let me stop there. Let me give it to Sister Mariam so she can add some more before I say everything.
Okay, and all right. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, Sister Mariam, wait, sorry, before you start, I just want to read some of this, please, you know, let me read this. Kemi wrote, please stop making better commitment than me. Let me have the moment, my moment. Okay, well, and then discuss it. I'm sorry, I'm making mistake in my resting. I beg discuss, please stop. And then Kemi said, I agree, everyone is getting married because we measure against friends. Most of those relationships are based on lack of emotion, intelligence, and it can be toxic. It's better to try and fail in normal relationship than get married multiple times. At that point, you should have enough experience to make the right choice. Repeat your mistake, then repeat your mistake. Absolutely right, Kemi. Absolutely right. Sister Mariam, you can start now. Sorry, I just wanted to read the comment.
Okay, good. And also lack of the social media also, we shouldn't forget about social media. Social media have a lot of impact too on marriage lately, you know. People go on social media and see anything they just feel is just, you know, they don't even fix their home, but they're out there on social media posting days, not even paying attention to the person, you know, to your couple, whosoever you going out with, how to make them happy. All you want to do is, after you guys finish chonging plates at each other, you just post, oh, my boo and I are going so good. And maybe after you guys have fight, or after you already now, and like for example, your couple wants something, okay, can we go out there? After you already rejected, then you go on social media, oh, we're doing so good. Or some that been in a very better marriage going out there, because lately we have a lot of motivational speaker. Somebody will go there and say, oh, marriage is not good, marriage is like that, marriage is like that. Marriage can never be good and bad. Everybody have their own situation in marriage. Then it's not because it was bad for you, say it will be bad for someone else. But some people get carried away by social media, because when they go on social media and they see all of that comment, they start thinking, oh, I don't think my marriage is going to work. It happened to this person. They start having that phobia, you know, that phobia of themselves, and they're not even there to say out things. As you were saying, I think one of you guys were mentioning about cheating. Some men, that's one thing I want us to know. I don't know about women. Some women have that habit, but most men, it's hard for them to discuss that part of their woman cheating, because for men, their pride is their wife. As for what I've observed, men can cheat. They will cheat 100 times, but when their wife cheats once, it's like taking a needle and just putting it.
You know what the difference is, Mariam, with that? Yes. A man cheat not because they technically love the woman, the woman they're cheating with. They just cheat for the sake of cheating. But women cheat because we want that connection. Yes. You know, that's the difference, and that's when men get pissed, because when a woman cheat, she's not going to go and cheat with any random guy. The person she's cheating on, there's a feeling there, there's a connection there. You know what I mean? That's why she's cheating on that particular guy, not just anybody.
So that's why when you're talking about communication, that is the reason why most men don't communicate when their woman cheats. Believe me, it's hard for you to get a man that will tell you when you cheat. Okay, sit down, tell me how it happened. Okay, no. They're not going to accept it, because number one, he knows very well when you cheat, it's because you already out of the door. He knows very well you sat down and calculated that cheating before it happened. So it really catch him. His heart is like, wow, my wife has cheated. You know, it gets so much into him that he does not want to discuss that particular topic of cheating. Men don't really discuss their cheating stuff with their wife. They don't accept it. So it's hard for them to discuss. How can you communicate something that is hard for you to even start the topic?
1 minute, darling. For video just put, no, man cheat for more reason than that. Yeah, man cheat more reason than that. But I'm saying man can cheat different reason. It's not because I find a nice hot woman that's want to cheat, or no, man got different reason of cheating. But I'm saying us women, when we cheat, just know that man we got some kind of feeling for. We just don't go and open our leg to Tom, Dick, and Harry and say, okay, there's my leg, enter anything. No. When we cheat on a man, we know that we're trying to even get out of that situation, that marriage or that relationship. We're trying to get out of it. That's why now we're going to cheat and we don't care anymore. So that's us women.
That's why it's painful for them to talk about it. Like what he is saying, Fidel is saying that Sam men cheat, but yeah, it's right. I will tell you that men, I have few reasons that I know men cheat for, because I've already spoke. I got brothers. I have more male friend than girlfriend. I think I mentioned that before. My friends will tell me that I cheat because that woman is not making me happy at home. I'm not really happy. The woman that I'm married to is not the same woman anymore. Her behavior have changed. Things have really changed between us. So I really want out. And some women also, once they get married, they sit down. They don't do anything anymore. Everything that they used to do, they post stop to it. They say, okay, I already married to him. I got him. He's my man, and period. You know? And right away, they start paying attention to the men's needs. And they're where the men feel abandoned. And they go out there and cheat. So that's one of the reasons why men one also of the reason that men cheat, because some women don't pay attention to their husband. Once they are married, they just feel that because they are already married, so the marriage is done. So that's it, period. There's nothing much to do. He's my man, and I have children for him, so he's mine. Or have a child for him, he is mine. Then they get relaxed. They abandon his attention, taking care of him, because men are like babies. Those children that you have, they're even better than our men when it comes to some behavior. because men like they like to be taken care of. So immediately when you start doing all of that, you're making that man to go out there. You making a man to lack. I don't use that word probably, but will sex and the attention I used to give them before you got married to that man. You used to cook for him nicely. You guys have to go. You used to go for dinner. You guys used to go to club. You used to make joke with him. But now since you got married, just all tidy. Oh baby, I'm busy. I have to do this, and I don't know. So those are some of the reasons that they cheat. That's why the marriage don't work. When he start cheating now, but he get taken care of out there very well, definitely that marriage is going down the road. Because why? He's not satisfied, and you also notice that he's also cheating. Or instead of you paying attention to that man, you start paying attention to social media, to what your friends telling you, to what you see on social media. When men cheat, it's because they want to cheat. Blah blah blah. Social media have a lot to do. You start seeing different views, and you get confused. And that's how the marriage just gone. Before you make up your mind, it's divorce. The same thing with the men. You're not paying attention to your wife. Certain thing you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing. The wife will start cheating. And you already know women before they cheat. They take time. They don't just wake up and cheat tomorrow morning. No. They take their time. They calculate. They start putting in time, feelings. Bam. That's how the cheating starts. So there's so many reasons for marriage to fail. That's a lot. Okay, read what he wrote there.
Video Abro, I am not disagreeing with why you might cheat, but other women cheat for the sake of it. Yeah, but the ones that cheat for the sake of it, I think 1 minute, Shanna, I'm gonna unmute you. The ones that cheat for the sake of it, I think is very low, because most women cheat. Before women cheat, that woman, like Sister Mariam was saying, she already calculate that she's not happy anymore. Do you get me? Majority of them, they're not happy anymore, and they want to way out. So she already calculate what she need to do to get out. Do you get me? So you get to a point, once you cheat, it's a thing where now she don't even care anymore. Like whatever happened after that, it happened, you know? And further I've said, Fidel has said, both man and woman will cheat because they are unsatisfied about something in their relationship. However, it does not make it right, which is absolutely true, you know?
Yeah.
You know, because when you, that's where my point was at. When you're unsatisfied about somewhere, you go and cheat for the, but it's all to do with communication. That's the part that I was trying to say earlier. Because we have people in a relationship, they're not communicating properly. Like sometimes when a man do something or when a woman do something and the other partner want to bring it up, the other partner would do something to change that, to do a 360 degree to change that topic. So now they will start fighting, now they'll start arguing, and now they will not, they are forgotten to resolve that the real issue, what the main issue is. They don't talk about that. Then next time something else pop up, then they start to remember, oh, last time you did exactly similar thing, you did this, and then the man will be saying, oh, you every time something happens, you don't forget, you always bring the old news. Yes, to you it's old news, but to the woman it's not old news because it never got resolved. It never ever got resolved. And something that never ever get resolved and there's no communication, there'll be lack of misunderstanding. There'll always be constantly bickering. There's fighting, everything. Because why? You're not communicating properly with each other. And that's how I was telling Sister Mary the other time, that even today, that counseling, before counseling come into it, before two people go to counseling, you need to communicate with each other first. Because the point of going counseling is telling your counselor what your issue is, what your problem is with your partner. Do you get me? And at the end, the counselor always going to ask you, have you guys told each other this exactly how you feel? You know, if you tell the counselor, oh, we try to discuss it, we end up fighting, the counselor ain't going to resolve anything if you two people cannot communicate. Two people need to be able to communicate before you solve anything. Anything. Without communication, without trust, without respect, that marriage is going downhill. You know, so Shannon, you wanted to say something before. You can say something before Sister Mariam says something. Let me unmute you, Shannon. 1 minute.
At first, most people don't cheat. Men cheat for sex generally. Generally, women cheat because they develop feelings outside of the relationship. Yeah, and that's true. That's where communication and finding the right person who you're able to have that discussion with. Because before, everything doesn't just happen like that. It doesn't just off of a whim. You don't just cheat just like that. There is a feeling, there's a thought that comes before that happens. And I believe that if that feeling or thought comes about, you should be able to discuss once you have the right partner and if you didn't get into that situation for the wrong reason, you should be able to discuss and say, you know what, I feeling neglected all the time. You're liming with your boys. Every weekend you're going on liming by your friends and all you're playing on games and all your liming or hanging out. And you leave me home. I home with the children. I home cleaning. I home taking care of the house, but you out having fun and you out seeing things, and I just stuck in this damn house all the time. Things like that you should be able to discuss with your partner. Like you don't and tell them you don't take me out, you don't make me feel like a woman, you don't make me feel like a man if it's a man. You don't do this, you don't take care of me. I find you're cooking, you don't even cook with love anymore. Whole like for the past month we ate rice and tuna. Nothing in wrong with rice and tuna. I just say for the past month we ate boring stuff like rice and tuna, boiled rice and regular tuna. Like you're not doing things that shows me that you love me. You're not doing things that shows me that you appreciate me. So of course, if a man come and say, well, come and whisper the right things, you're going to be drawn to that person, and that is where those thoughts and feelings get taken to another level. It gets taken to cheating. Because from the time you entertain and those thoughts and feelings of sorry, from the time you're acting on those thoughts and feelings and you're making whether because a lot of people think that cheating is just from the time you spread open your legs or from the time you take out your and you start doing stuff. The thoughts, sorry, the thoughts to do it, like, you know, he really ain't doing it like he used to, or she really not doing it like she used to. From the time you start to go down that road, you're going down a slippery slope because there is no end unless you can sit down and talk to your man or talk to your woman, tell them, yeah, what? I don't like how you're doing this. I don't like how you're not doing this. Then you're inevitably going to end up with somebody else, end up in somebody else's bed, or have somebody else end up in your bed. So I would say to avoid problems, talking again, counseling, and as Maya said, before you get to counseling, you need to be able to be with somebody who is open to communication because there are a lot of people, man and woman, who think that their values, their beliefs, their opinions are all that matters. You could come and you could be screaming, as Maya say, could be screaming, "Oh my God, no, I hate this and this. I don't like this. You need to fix this. Oh my gosh, why not listening to me?" And they would not hear you. They would not take you on. And we still, a lot of us still push forward with the relationship and just say, "Well, that's just how he is, or that's just how she is," and not realize the sinking themselves further and further. And also think that when you get married, it will be better. He will change. He will treat me as a wife. He will value my opinion, and that is never the case. As I say, it turns into a worse hell than what you have already glimpsed. They get worse. So I would say, in terms of the cheating and stuff, being able, before you get to the counseling level, being able, selecting the right partner is the first step. Before you get to the counseling level, you need to be able to sit down and talk to your partner, man and woman, and you should not be like ruling with an iron fist and thinking what I say is gospel. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. What I think, if I say jump, you ask me how high. That's that is how this relationship going to go. And a lot of people, I see a lot of people in situations like that, and a lot of women and men, they think they're making it work, but it's only so long you're going to push aside your feelings and your beliefs for the sake of, yeah, you're just trying to keep the peace, or you're just trying to keep him happy, or you're just trying to make your marriage work. Doing sacrificing your own needs, sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of help, of thinking that your marriage is going to have some kind of longevity. That is a terrible thing to do because it's going to explode like nothing you ever see before. It's going to explode. And like I said, you need to be able to sit down and talk about it. No matter how hurtful it may seem, you may have to tell your husband or tell your wife, you know, you're kind of boring now, you know. Those things hurt. That would hurt me if I heard that. You're kind of boring now, you get a little lazy. You don't even take the time to put on makeup. If it is that your husband into that or whatever, or you into that, or he met you doing that, and all of a sudden you're married and you get comfortable. That's the thing. When you get married, you think that I have him, so I don't need to try anymore. This is who I am. So he had to love me for me. True, but you are also with somebody. You need to
So,
be.
no.
Yeah,
I don't want to cut you. What you just said makes sense. One
right.
minute, let me mute you because my voice. What you said it makes sense, but sometimes it can also be the opposite. Sometimes some man can see some woman, right? You take good care of yourself, they will change it completely. They'll be like, you know what? I don't want you to wear wig anymore. You will stop wearing wig. Do you say, for example, you use cream to make yourself look light or glow, or add the cream you're using? I don't want you to wear that cream no more. You let it go, Or the way you dressing, I don't want you to dress like that anymore. You let that go. Don't make you stop taking care of yourself completely where you look unattractive to other people, and then what they told you not to do, they're going out there chasing other women that do exactly what they're telling you not to do.
Yeah,
That
but
can sometimes happen. Let me unmute you and you can continue. And that's what I just want to.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And that's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about when I said sacrificing you, sacrificing yourself to make somebody else happy like that. Just because they of their own insecurities, that's wrong. You're going to, and a lot of women do that. They would not, they would dress differently. They would wear less makeup. They would stop wearing fake hair. If you love fake hair, you love fake hair. Nobody can come and tell you you shouldn't do that. You're a grown ass woman or whatever the case is, you're an adult. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. Nobody shouldn't be able to come and tell you. I say we pass 18. We all pass 18. Under 18, your parents can tell you do this, do that, and beat you if you don't do it or whatever. Over that age, no. You have a mind of your own. You can do whatever you want. And that person, they met you a certain way. They didn't meet you all frumpy and car dress, your face not put together, your hair not put together. He met you like that. So to now come and say, you know what, just because you're jealous and you feel your own. That's the other thing. Sorry. That's the other thing about marriage. A lot of people think that they own the person that they get married to. They don't own anybody in this world. Everybody come in this world by themselves. Even if it's a twin, you didn't pop out with your mother, with your twin at the same time. You all came out individually, and you have individual responsibilities in this world. You are responsible for yourself. You choose to partner with somebody and live a life with somebody, but you don't own the person, and the person don't own you. So that is a mistake I see across the board. Yes, you love the person and you're walking hand in hand with them, but that is as far as it goes. You're walking this earth together. You don't own shit. You don't own his penis. You don't own her vagina. That is how it is, and it's not, I don't mean to be that dry and aggressive, but I'm just saying it as it is. What the sooner we all get that in our heads, we will stop beating. We would stop domestic violence because the whole notion of domestic violence is you own the other person. So in a marriage, use my wife or use my husband. So I entitled to hit you. I entitled to abuse you. Or I entitled to talk to you like shit, which is wrong in itself. And one of the other reasons that marriages don't work, domestic violence, abuse is definitely one. And a lot of people take it again, doing things for the sake of the longevity of your marriage doing negative things and allowing negative things to happen for the longevity of your marriage is a terrible idea because if you allow it once, chances are it's going to happen again and again and again and again. If you allow him to likely tap you, smack you, he's from next time he hits you, he's going to hit your harder, and then next time he hits you, he's going to cuff you in your face. So it just escalates. So stop it there and then and run for the door. Run for the door. Mariama, you have anything to say?
Yeah, yeah. I'm staying on the how do you call it, counseling, because all of
Counseling.
that, for you to know that the person doesn't communicate when you go for counseling, as Maya was saying, you go for counseling, and how can you cancel? How can you go to counselor when the person doesn't communicate? Then when you go to counseling, you will find out that he's not a person that communicates.
Uh,
Yeah, so you will know how to deal with a situation. You will say, okay, we went to the counseling for us to at least talk, and you didn't talk, then you already know this person that I have. Right away, the counselor is going to tell you that, hey, your partner is not a communicative type, so you have to work on that. So for me, the main important thing is the counseling area where you people don't communicate. When you go, you can talk, you decide to bring other people in, because even when there's a problem in a relationship, they always advise that you bring a elder or somebody in that will talk, to see, to hear the both side and know what to do about it. Or they also advise you to go and see counselor, because you have, even if the other partner, your spouse, or maybe you are the woman that don't talk and the man is the one that talk, right away the counselor is gonna say that, hey, your wife is refusing to talk. So the problem is that your wife have communication problem. Then you already know that you have a partner that is hard to communicate. So for me,
right.
counseling is really do important, because when we talk about communication, the communication derived from when you go for counseling, you need to be talking. When you are somebody in the house, you guys have a problem, nobody is talking, nobody is telling their mind, it make it more difficult. But if you bring third party in, like for example, a very trustful person, or you go for counseling, you will know what is going on. Whether this person is the person that he's talking because he want to talk, or he's keeping quiet because of a reason that keeping quiet. But if he doesn't have anything to say, or he doesn't put in anything on the table, then you know that, oh, I have a partner, and this partner is like, is the problem of this partner is because he does not communicate, it's because he have problem in expressing himself, or maybe he just likes to keep quiet. So for me, at the end of the day, the counseling for me is just the main part for me. I will always say, because I know counseling, I know what I'm saying it, because I have few friends that go through those problems, and at the end of the day, when they find out, they be like, oh, if I had knew, I would just talk to this person, we'll start doing this before, or I'll bring somebody in, or I'll go for counseling before the marriage go far, because exactly what I'm saying is not what I really want. And from there, that's how the marriage will start clashing. That's how things will start going down. You see, because if somebody that don't know how to communicate to you or to the people out there, definitely it's going to come, it will be a point where the person is not going to pay attention to you. There'll be no attention, because they don't even know what is going on in your mind. You don't even know, because how can you be with somebody that you don't even know what the person thinking about? Even if you do wrong, he's not going to say anything, or she is not going to say anything. You do right, you know. So at the end of the day, but if you know from the beginning, you go for counseling, and you know very well, you already detect that this person have this attitude in them, then you know how to deal with it. You know it's your responsibility when something happens for you to talk, because you already know your partner is not a talking type. Your partner is the one that doesn't communicate. So for me, the lack of the counseling for me is the main one. And what I'm saying is because many marriages, when you talk to them, I have a lady that I follow that do this, and they're talking, she do a counseling, and she mentioned a lot of cases, and believe me, 90% of those marriage, 85%, the separation came because they never went for counseling, because you don't even know who you married to. The person had that happen. Nobody changed for one day. Nobody changed for anybody. Everybody have their own way. For example, if I have this bad habit, I don't change because of you. Maybe I just compromise, because my marriage is compromising, as I don't know which one of you are talking about, dressing or fixing hair or this. It's just about compromising. Your partner, you love to wear a long hair. Your partner say, no, I don't like long hair. I want you to wear short hair. You have to compromise because you want the marriage to work. It's okay. Let me compromise and see. Okay, then instead of me wearing very, very, very short hair, can I wear at least a middle hair? Then at least we can walk to, You know, all of those things, they are compromised. Marriage is compromised. But if you don't know the person, you didn't do counseling, no talking, let's forget about going to a specific counselor or your mother, your father, somebody didn't sit the two of you down and have a talk for you to know whether this person is a communicative person or not. You have a problem with that person at the end of the day. The marriage is going to go down the road. Because you're not going to be just be acting like a bobo, you know, you don't even know what is going on. Everything is signed. Can I get it, you know? Or you have to call somebody, can I please stay my baby? You know, so at the end of the day, you just need to know that person's habits. Well, I saw many marriages failing because of we don't do the beginning, we don't talk, we don't know each other, we don't even have the good reason why we get to marriage. Marriage happens later, nobody is ready. You can meet somebody, you can connect so much with the person, you want to build a home, you just want to sit down. But with time talking to the person, you find out that this person doesn't even know what they want. They don't even know what they want. And when you do everything rush, you get married, definitely it's not a marriage, it's going to spoil. You're just going to go down the road. So when I'm insisting on counseling is because it's in the counseling that you get a red flag. You know that this person don't talk. When you go for, how will you go, for example, we all said it from the beginning, love. What the first thing women, when you see a man, oh, I love him, man, you know, you feel that feeling, the both of you feel that feeling, that's it, you know, and you start doing it. When you in love, you don't see nothing, you are blind. Everything you see is the beautiful part. Even they get long teeth here, you see the teeth short. Even if they are nose flat, you will say, no, you're not flat, they're just looking some kind of way, you know. Even if your friends and your family member are telling you that man you are going out with, it doesn't really look that truthful. I know, mommy, he's gonna change. I know he's gonna change. But when you go for counseling or you have somebody that will talk to the both of you at the beginning of the relationship, the red flag is gonna show. Even though you neglect it, or let me say you try to overlook the red flag, definitely, because third party is going to come in. It's not only you and him. Somebody else is going to sit between you and listen to you. Even if he is not going to talk, but the person is going to listen to you, and that action right there, you will know that something is going on right here. If this man is not talking, it's because he's like this, he's like that. Right away, you find out the red flag. That's how all those things start from the beginning of marriage. So when you get in that kind of marriage, definitely it's going down. And social media, as I said, have a lot to do with it. Some of us, when we have problems, we just go on social media, click. Let me listen to Stephen Harvey. Let me listen to the other person. The other person is motivating. You just go listen to for many motivational speakers. Like the other day, there's this lady that was talking that the motivational speaker then, some will come and tell you, say, when you're cooking rice, don't pour salt in it. The other one will come, when you're cooking rice, pour salt in it. Who are we going to listen to? We have to be careful when we go out there to listen to this motivational speaker, because some of them, they don't even know what they're saying. And that's true, honestly. If you see some marriage are spoiling because of that, because some women, when they wake up in the morning, just take their phone, they start looking, you know, start listening to when things happen, they will sit down in there and they will start crying. And when they go on the line, the next thing they will see somebody crying for this almost the same similar reason. They're putting that situation in that person's situation right away. They will not even know that person is only saying, because most of the people that own social media, the people talk from their own aspect, you know. They don't look at other people out there. Like one person said that, oh, marriage is not, men cheat for different reasons. That's it. Some men now will tell you, I cheat because my woman is not satisfying me in bed. Somebody talk about men cheat because of sex. Some men will tell you, no, not because of sex. I cheated on my wife because she don't cook for me well, or you know, some the person that came and talk about sex, maybe that is what he think. But other men will come now and tell you that no, men don't cheat because of sex. You understand? That is always different reasons. So that social media, the pre-marital and counseling from the beginning, for me, is one of those are the main reasons that make marriage break down lately. And we don't even know why we get into marriage also. We just get into marriage because we are so desperate. Everybody want to be married. Everybody want to be with somebody. Nobody want to be alone. You know, people, you know, so all of this have their up and down. And at the end of the day, it's going to go down because it never started well. Because you didn't even know what you were getting in, and you didn't know who you were dating. You don't even know why you even got in that marriage. So for me, I'm going to keep saying it. The counseling, the social media, they have a lot to do with marriage breaking lately. a lot. And also comparing the third one, I said, that comparing our marriage with our mother's marriage, and and our or my sister or my friend marriage, all those things have impact in marriage failure in this way, present days that we're in right now. You cannot compare your marriage with someone else marriage, because the man that she married or the woman that he married, it's not the same as yours in the home. So it's just the same going round the circle, the roller coaster, and at the end of the day, we still coming to the same place. Communication. How do you know you have a man that don't communicate when at the beginning? It's just you guys going to the cinema. There was no third party. There was nobody. There was no pastor. There was no imam. There was none of your best friend that could sit with the two of you and say, okay, let's talk. The way you're getting married. What are you guys getting married for? What did you see in this person before you married them? So it all go to the same thing. For me, the counseling, the talking before marriage, the involving the one party in the marriage, like third party, for me is very important, because you will not really know that it's one of the big effects that we had, that in that we're going to find the red flag. You're going to know whether this person warfare, whether this person have this habit. Although I will keep saying, to know people is very difficult. Some people pretend a lot, because everybody have different reason. The reason of them getting into marriage. So people pretend a lot when they have one goals of them getting in that marriage. No matter what you tell them, they're gonna be very, very on that lane. But when you have another professional person with you, they will spot it. Somebody that is a professional worker and that know when people make some sign when they are talking, they will spot that red flag and say, "Oh, girl, this marriage, you guys have to do this for it to work out." So I'm gonna let you guys talk. Oh, I don't know who is gonna be.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Mariam. I'm gonna read a Fido comment before we'll wrap it up, because it's now, we've been here 1 hour 31 minutes. Fido went exactly, Shannon. Both man and woman cheat because of neglect, which is absolute. Before we wrap it up here, so I will start with Shannon, then Sister Mariam. Shannon, what is your advice you give to people based on the topic that we're talking about today? Well, let me unblock you. 1 minute. Let me unmute you, man.
Right, so you're gonna be hearing my dogs barking in the background. They're making a lot of noise. But I'll just be quick. All right, so I just want to say main reason why marriages break up. One, talking, counseling from the get-go, understanding what you all both expect from that marriage. We don't do that. A lot of us don't do it. We just go in with preconceived notions of what marriage is going to be, and a lot of the times we're wrong, because as Mariama said, each thing we need to treat with it as individual situations. The way you boil rice would be different from how I boil rice. You may put salt in your water when you're going to boil rice. You may put butter in your water as you're boiling rice. So, and it both ways, it may come out differently. It depends on your personal preference. So we need to stop looking at other people's advice, like watching these motivational speakers who say what works for them. Okay, that's great, but it might not work for you. It might not work for you and your partner. So we need to know, one, who you're with, know what you're getting into, being able to communicate. We need to, because a lot of us go into this thing pretending to be someone that we're not, as Mariama said again. A lot of us pretend. I know women do that really well. Like we pretend to be the wife or the person that the man would want as a wife. And then when you're married, they see a monster. They meet someone, they realize that you're a completely different person. And because they think you're married and you have him, that is not, it doesn't work out like that. And it eventually leads to divorce. Because you realize that you just can't keep it up. You can't keep up that charade for long. And he realizes that you are not who you said you would be. You are. Men, I don't know if men pretend to be something that they're not. I don't know. Maybe there are men out there who do that, but I know a lot of women do that because they think they need to be married. They think you need somebody to complete you. Otherwise, you're a failure in life and all of that nonsense that we think. So I would say my advice is just be honest with yourself. Be your best self so that you can be your best for somebody else. Don't look for them to complete you because that will end in failure. And talk, communicate, counseling. If you Some people can't afford counseling, to have multiple discussions with your husband or your future husband or your future wife. Communication is the key. And being honest with yourself about who you are, and then being honest about what you expect, what you will tolerate, and what you would not tolerate. You don't have to take anything just to say that you're married. Marriage is not a trophy. To say yes, that you could show off to your friends. Yes, I'm married, so I have a ring. Well, the ring on the wrong finger, no, on this wrong. But to say I'm married and I look at my ring, I have 20 how much carats. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you ain't married? You ain't shit. Like to be able to do that. Something has to be wrong with you first of all to even be thinking like that. But yeah, marriage is not a trophy to show off. Marriage requires hard work, commitment, dedication, humility. You need to be very humble in a marriage. And a lot of us don't have that. We walk around with pride. So my advice is that to just be whole in yourself and then look for somebody to be with. You're not looking for the person to complete you. That is a waste of time. And as Will Smith said, I can't make you happy. You have to work on yourself, whether you have to go to therapy, whether you have to do whatever healing modalities that they have out there. You need to work on that and then come at me or come at whoever it is and compliment them. You need to add to them. You're not supposed to go in expecting them to make you whole, which is what a lot of people do. Oh, they think that is 50-50. Yes, marriage is a 50-50 partnership. Marriage, not you. It's not a 50-50. You can't come with 50 and expect the person to give you 50 to make you a whole person. That just would not work. So yeah, make yourself whole, heal from whatever traumas you have. That person can heal you and come in as a whole person and work to be a good partner with the other person. Work to have a good partnership with the other person. That's my advice. So I'll pass it on to Mariam or Maya. Don't know who's next.
Thank you, Shannon. It's now Mariam, now Sister Mariam.
Okay, advice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, as I said from the beginning, I'm gonna continue with that. Counseling is very important. Don't forget before you get into any relationship. Well, no, marriage. We're talking about marriage right now, no other relationship. Before you get married, try to do counseling, okay? Try to find, maybe you don't have to go to a professional, maybe you have your mother or your family members, or maybe if you are Muslim, the imam, somebody that you trust, very trustful, to bring the both of you together and to explain to the both of you what marriage is about, what is it that you really want in marriage, the both of you, what you guys want in marriage, because marriage is not only about, oh, I'm married, I have a ring or that. No, marriage involves a lot. As I said from the beginning, money is not enough for marriage, love is not enough for marriage. There's so many things that make marriage to stand up, but before that happens, you have to know what you want, what really introduces you to go into marriage, what really encourage you for you to get married, so you have to know that before you think about getting married. Nobody rushing. I think one of my colleagues mentioned nobody is old to get married. We are in the right age. In any age you get married, that's the age that God wants you to get married in. Nothing happened to you before your time. Everything happened according to your time. Everything was planned from the day you were born. So you don't have to force situation. Because sometimes I notice that people get into marriage 3 times before they even meet the real men that's supposed to be their husband. Because we do force things. We don't wait for God's time. So I just want us to just do everything according to God's will, in the marriage that you want, that God has written down for you. It will come to you, but you have to know what you want. That's the reason why from the beginning, you have to put yourself together before you marry somebody. When somebody come, they say they want to marry you, you talk to them. What do you want to marry? What is to you? What's the definition of marriage? What is it that you want in this that you call marriage? What do you want us to do? What you expecting from me? All those things you have to talk about it. Because whatever was meant for you, if that Peter you're supposed to marry, or Muhammad, or whosoever you're supposed to marry, wallahi, that man is going to be with you. But if you keep going into marriage without knowing the purpose, you're going to get married 3 times before you even meet the main person, or even 2 times. You'll be getting in, getting out, because where you went before, it's not the place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala built for you. So you have to build yourself. You have to talk. That's what I talk about counseling. You have to have that conversation to know, and so you can spot the red light and the red flag and know, yes, this is what I want, and this is my marriage. I'm going to get into this marriage. Okay, this man is sick, or maybe he have this problem. Can I really deal with him, with his cheating? Can I deal with him spending a lot? Can I deal with my wife buying a lot of Gucci bag and all this expensive? Do I have the financial? All those things we have to talk about it. Because if you don't talk about that, do I want to have 5 kids? Because this my wife want to have 5 kids. Do I really want to have 5 kids? Maybe I just want to have 2. So you have to talk about them. I was married before. I was married when I was 17, very young. It was a forced marriage. But right now, I'm here, because from the beginning, the foundation was not there. It was not talked about, because it was not even my husband. It just happened because, unfortunately, 1 or 2 people thought it was supposed to be. But that was not what God wanted for me. So immediately he took me from out of it. So it's going to happen to every one of us. We're all going to make mistakes. But once you talk to the person and you hear from the person and know what you want and what they want in marriage, whether way you yourself as a person, you will also in the spot the red flag. And another very important thing I didn't talk about, maybe for Shona, maybe I don't know what happened in her country, but in our country, from the Muslim background or whatever, they force children to get married. But that would be another topic I want for us to talk about. People get into marriage where you don't even know the person. Your parents force you into that marriage. Definitely that marriage is going to go down. But that is for another time. We're going to talk about that another time. But just that my advice is that before we get into marriage, let's do counseling. Let's try to talk. It's hard to know people, but believe me, counseling will help you. You're going to spot most of those red flags. Maybe if it's not all, but at least 1 or 2 very important ones that will help you tomorrow to know if that marriage is going to go forward, or you're going to be able to have patience in that marriage. So I leave you with this message, and I hope you do what I said, or listen to my colleague and think about it before you get married.
Us is married is a big step, so before you take that commitment, you need to do your homework, know if it's really what you want. Do you know what I mean? Don't allow peer pressure to put you in a situation where you regret, because a lot or friends are married and we feel like there's a lot of all the people we're around are all married and we're the only one in our circles that's not married. So we feel like we need to have that peer pressure to get married because everybody's doing it. And then you end up with somebody and then, the person is not the right person for you. You end up living miserable life, because you rush into something that you really didn't want. Masama, wait. You rush into something that you really didn't want. So my advice would be for people, marriage is a big step, man. So think all angle of it. Is this something that you really, really want, Because you can go into it and it could not be right for you. You know what I mean? And also, if you're noticing red flag from earlier on, like red sign, because a lot of us notice red sign, but we'll always feel like we'll be able to change the person and all those things. And then in the end, we realize that we cannot change the person. And then that could be a thing that will put error into your marriage, that you can have problem in your marriage. So when you start to notice all this little red flag, don't ignore it, remove yourself out of the situation, because it's better to remove yourself out of the situation earlier than invest into something for so many years and then end up coming out of that as zero, basically. Do you know what I mean? And my other advice would be, especially if we have kids with our partner and it's not going, don't, because the mistake majority of us do is force situation for the sake of children, and then these children of ours grow up and they're miserable, they're depressed, they're stressed out, and they end up growing up allowing somebody to abuse them because their dad was always constantly fighting. So they have now think that when the husband do that to them is acceptable, or if you got a boy's child, he will go and do that. So mom and daddy doing that to each other. You get what I mean? So this world that we live in, we shouldn't just force situation because of our children, because in the long run we're damaging them, And also I believe in firmly your own happiness comes first. You have to love yourself. You have to be happy with yourself. No one in this world is going to bring you any amount of happiness if you ain't happy within yourself. Do you get what I mean? The worst killer in this world is your mind. Your mind is the worst killer. And this is what people don't realize. This is why there's a lot of people committing suicide. Will sit there and think, oh my God, the person had lots of friends. The person was like, had money. Like, why would you go and kill yourself? You beautiful, you got a beautiful family, you got a beautiful home, you got a beautiful job, you got a beautiful career. And what we're forgetting is all the mind here. If you have a negative thought about anything, your mind is always negative, you're going to end up doing something to yourself because you're not thinking positively. You get what I mean? So no matter how much money we have, no matter how beautiful we are, no matter how rich we are, no matter how fabulous career we have, if we don't love ourselves within ourselves and we don't have a good thought about ourselves, it's all zero. All that money mean nothing. All that career mean nothing. All that husband mean nothing. All that house mean nothing. Because why? You wasn't happy within yourself. Do you get what I mean? So we need to start, really working on ourselves before we go out there to depend on anybody to bring us that happiness. Self-happiness start within. And also, I would like to thank everybody who comes and watch our show, who share, who comment. We'll read all your comment. So thank you so much for interacting with us. We absolutely love you all. May Almighty God bless you all. Have a great weekend. And tomorrow is going to be Monday again. 1 minute, let me unmute my phone so we can all say goodbye together. Love you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.